It's a pleasant welcome on Thursday, 19th day of October, 9 days after our elections. The National Elections Commission is announcing provisional results. Everybody assumes that 9 days after these results, everybody knows what is next. 2 more polling centers to go in Nimba County for voting, where it is alleged that the ballot boxes were seized or confiscated. Nimba County. Oh, wonderful day here. We will have later on the show Mr. PEWEE BAYSAH. PEWEE BAYSAH is the president of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas. And we also have Eric Kennedy. Eric Kennedy is a member of ALJA, a Liberian political analyst. They will be here. Let's talk about post-elections, maybe pre- and post-elections activities in the country, the violence in Lofa and Monserrado counties, and then, of course, we hear about Nimba. President George Weah has already come up to condemn or to sympathize with the people of Lofa for the death of their son in 4 years, and of course, the people of Monserrado County for the death of their son in district number, is that number 2? That was around district number 13. So in Monserrado County, 2 partisans of the Congress for Democratic Change killed. One was mobbed. In fact, both were mobbed. But again, it's pre- and post-election analysis. Eric Kennedy will be here. He will be joined by PEWEE BAYSAH on ELBC Radio on the social media. So please stick and stay there. Let's do it together. We'll be on the show until we get our outside broadcast team at the National Elections Commission headquarters in Sinker. My name is Isaac Red. A pleasant welcome. ELBC Radio, which we don't have a lot of time outside, but again, in the modern broadcasting, 10 minutes, 15 minutes is a lot of time to see a lot of things. But let me just go quickly to briefing you that the National Elections Commission will hold another press briefing today and giving accounts of these elections. So far, so good, peaceful. President George Weah and former Vice President Joseph Boyka held for runoff with 99.9% of votes counted. Senator Vani Sherman retires, disappointed with his constituents. He retires from politics. Senate resumes 6th section as 2024 draft budget and a just law top agenda. Senator Prince Johnson, what is there for Prince Johnson, likely to face war crime courts after elections? Who says that? Well, a lot coming up on ELBC Radio here. We're here for you across Liberia and many other areas outside Liberia by the social media. And so, like I mentioned, it's election and politics. We have a peaceful pre-election season, 5th of August to the 7th of August. We had a campaign, one incident in Lofa County. That was the pre-elections incident and the death of a young man. And then post-election argument in Konya and Lofa County, another death, 2 persons died. One person killed his friend in an argument of post-elections. We are Boyka argument. Then the citizens chased the gentleman who murdered his friend and mobbed him too. jungle justice, an eye for an eye. In Moserato County, a Liberian is stoned to death by federal Liberians on election purpose on the 7th of October. My name is Isaac Ray, and now have with me in the studios Mr. Eric Kennedy, Josephus he likes to be called. Eric Josephus Kennedy, I mentioned that BAYSAH would join me shortly. Two of my colleagues, we worked together for many years. They settled in a year's here to observe these elections. Eric, good afternoon. Can I say formally welcome to Liberia?
Yeah, that would be appropriate. And thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be back in Liberia and to be back in your Kusa studio. And let me thank the management of FBS under the stewardship of Stella Liberty Common for the tremendous work that you guys are doing here. So it's good to be back, and I look forward to an engaging conversation.
How is it like since you've been here like what, 3 weeks? You voted?
Yeah, I've been here a little over 2 weeks now, and of course, I was here during the registration process, so I did register, and of course, I was obliged and to come back and exercise my franchise by voting, and I did that, and I was also part of the election monitoring process. So I've been very engaging with the process, and I arrived.
Are you, before we go to elections and pre and post elections, a reaction from the people and your own observation, coming home in March, registering, coming back here after 4 months, 5 months, how is the environment? Are we stuck in the same, enclave, or are we opening up and advancing and trying to get our deliberate in a way that is peaceful?
I think I can sum up by saying that we are on the right trajectory. I was here in April to register, not in March, and when I return, I see the country. A lot of things are happening, but there's still more to be desired. So, infrastructure-wise, I think we're doing a great job. Security, that since 2018, the international peacekeepers left. The country has been managing its own security, and I think the security sector deserves our commendation for the incredibly magnificent job that they've been doing managing the security of the country by themselves. There are still challenges, and all is not rosy yet, but Rome wasn't building one this time. So we just pray for peace and tranquility, so that we can continue to do those things that will glorify our country.
All right. I hope PEWEE is coming, and I hope he's coming and he's listening, so he'll have the answer for himself. Some of these questions I'm asking you. Let's jump straight into the elections. You came 2 weeks, and then you were here 9 days after the elections. Let's put the pre and post election atmosphere on the barometer, or put it on the telescope and see how we gauge it. How has it been going towards election, the atmosphere, the interaction, the rivalry, the political jobs, and all of the campaign trails, and then after these elections? Is it watering down with the people?
Well, my first impression was that, and rightly so, tensions were very high. Political tensions were very high. Given the political exchanges, between among those who were contesting the elections, it was scaring, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, those of us who braved the storm to come here were advised against coming to Liberia, that the country wasn't safe, that things could explode, and our safety could be in danger. However, we came against those pieces of advice, and one of the things that has impressed me most is the peaceful manner in which the Liberian people conducted themselves in these elections. They beat all the odds. They beat all the skepticisms that there were going to be bloodbath. This is going to happen. We're hearing about beating the war drums. But on election day, as I went across the country, The people were peaceful. They waited patiently and they voted. So that alone was a panacea to kind of water down, if you like, uh, the storm that was blowing across our country. So if you ask me to compare the pre-election and the post-election tension, I think things are relatively calm right now. Everybody just waiting for the final result, and the country moves on. And I think that as I speak to people across the country, the Liberian people are bracing themselves for the run-up election, which is imminent at this point.
Yeah, you said it. They heard the rumors of war and things are peaceful. So that's an indirect credit to the Liberian people, the government having an election.
Absolutely.
In contemporary politics, without an international peacekeeping force or an international military. Eric, so what do you think? A lot of people are kind of shocked when the results are coming. Nobody will probably hear about an applicant. Prior to the first announcement on the 11th of October, or by around the 12th, did you figure out that it was being a weird boycott race, or you thought Cummings were going to be the spoiler, or he's going to be in amongst the anybody of the three that we've gone to, anybody from the three that we've gone for the runoff?
Prior to the conduct of these elections, I had hypothesized that nobody could have obtained 50% of vote, given the trend of our elections since 1997. But I did not, and I'm confident that most political commentators and pundits did not think that we could have had an applicant. People were thinking about Bwaka and possibly Cummings, and Terry and then Gonglo, but the applicant factor is like a puzzle right now, and I've been trying to figure out politically how did we get to that point. And if you look at the election results that have been announced right now, at this point we have about 114,000 invalid votes. That should speak volume. That tells you that a lot of people don't still understand how to vote. So I figure out there are three assumptions about why Cummings is not Cummings. Aberton is where he is right now. One, his position on the ballot. He's A, so he's number one on the ballot. A lot of people who want to vote were nervous. They didn't know how to vote. They just wanted to vote. So what they were doing, Aberton was on the first ballot, so they were just voting for Aberton. They just wanted to vote. The second assumption that I have made is that the fact that he was close to Bwaka, so he's first, Bwaka second. So possibility is that some of the folks who wanted to vote for Bwaka were mistakenly voting for Aberton. And my third assumption is that his vice president is called Alex, and Cummings is also Alex. So commonality of names could be a factor. So people were thinking that they were voting for Cummings and voting for Aberton.
That brings the argument of positioning on the ballot. So you think number one, number two was an advantage? Some people who voted for number one were probably looking for number two, and then they voted for number one. Then they voted for number two, like you assumed. So you want us to believe that the way people were positioned on the ballot gave some people the advantage. People don't necessarily want to vote for one or two.
Yeah, so from this point, in giving what we now know from the results, yeah, that is plausible. So position the ballot was or could have been an advantage,
strategic,
and that's one reason why Aberton is getting the votes.
All right, Eric Kennedy. I hope we can have some time to open the line so that you can share your opinion too on the Aberton. I hate to say Aberton virus. That would be so disrespectful. But the Aberton magic.
Yeah.
I happened, and everybody trying to understand that he, like Erie says.
And I'm confident, and I can bet on this one that he's getting the votes by mistake. Those are accidental votes. If you look at the election period, the people who should be in that position right now will be Cummings or Gonglo, and not Aberton.
All right.
So he getting accidental votes, and I'm confident about that.
No, we are yet to hear the National Elections Commission formally declare runoff. What do you think will, if runoff is announced, as everybody will assumed, what do you think will be the next 2 weeks action? You think people will be kind of involved, people for Gunglo, Apperton, Cummins, and then they're not in the second round. What do you think? Do you suspect, as the history has been, or the upturn has been, poor voter appetite? You think people will stay away, or people will come to vote a boycott or where?
So, like I had hypothesized, and as a result, confirm my hypothesis, there's going to be a runoff with more than 99% of the votes tallied and reported. So at this point, there's nobody who's going to get 50% plus one of the vote. It's clear at this point. So I get bemused and flabbergasted, if you will, when I say people that first round victory is possible. That should be magical. Nobody going to get 50% of the vote. At this point, the two leading candidates are stuck at 43%. They're only 43%. So there's no more votes left for any of the candidates.
Is your analysis based on politics, or is it mathematics?
It's mathematical.
Mathematical. That the remaining votes,
and that's scientific. Yeah,
the remaining votes not sufficient to take anybody to 50+1.
That's correct. The remaining votes aren't sufficient to take anybody to 50%. So, and they know that. So right now, everybody now is bracing themselves for the runoff election. And what's going to happen? The rerun holds tomorrow in District 4 in Nima County. In 2 polling places, and that's less than 1,000 votes, because on the next regulations, you cannot have more than 500 voters in a polling place. So the two polling places that will be voting tomorrow, we're talking about 1,000 votes. So even if candidate A or candidate B took all that 1,000 votes, nobody going to get 50%.
Let's look at the campaign for a second round. In the first phase of the elections, 2023 elections, the Unity Party split the country into different parts, and the Standard Bearer went to one part of the country, the Vice Standard Bearer went to another part, and then it turns out that the southeastern part of Liberia gave a 79 to 80 to 90% vote in favor of President Weah. One school of thought is that because he's from that region, or because he went to them, and took some days on the roads and went to them to appeal for vote. So the Unity Party did not go to the southeast. The southeast will say, "You want to be president? You can feel what we feel. We vote this way." Do you think this time around will be a lesson learned for the Unity Party, and Mr. Bwaka will go to the southeastern region?
I'm not sure Mr. Bwaka is going to go to the southeastern region. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we need to talk about is time constraint. All right, so constitutionally, if the runoff election has to take place maybe in 2 weeks, if you will, as of the pronouncement of the final results. So holding everything constant, if the commission were to announce the final results, say on tomorrow, election holds tomorrow in Nima. So if the commission would announce the final results on
Go ahead.
If the commission were to announce the result on Saturday or Sunday, we have to have runoff election 2 weeks.
Go ahead.
The commission has to hold the runoff election within 2 weeks as of the announcement of the final result. So there isn't going to be enough time for either Mr. Weah or Ambassador Bwaka
to go around the country.
To go across the country. So therefore, they have to be strategic in deploying the material and human resources that will be effective in those campaigns. And some of the things I've been hearing across the country, like in the United States, the Democrats don't campaign in certain areas because there'll be a waste of time, waste of resources.
Yeah, I hope we can continue, but we're getting voice from outside broadcasting. We'll have to check on them quickly and come back if they're not ready. We'll come back to you if they're ready. We join them. This is ELBC Radio. Let me take this break and be right back. A beautiful song from the folks from Lofa County. We got an indication earlier on that the outside broadcast team was ready at the National Elections Commission. They are in. So we will continue with Eric Kennedy. We've been joined by PEWEE BAYSAH. And PEWEE will join us shortly. Let me take this break and be right back too. ELBC Radio and other radio stations across Liberia. We are monitoring our outside broadcast team. They need to make a couple of adjustments. They're coming in not very clear though, but as soon as they're ready, whatever is available, we'll take it. But let me go back to my guest, Eric, and I'm being joined now by PEWEE BAYSAH. PEWEE, president of the Association of Liberian Journalists in America, observing these elections. PEWEE, welcome to ELBC Radio, your own place though.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac. I'm glad to be back home, and I'm pleased to, for the first time, join you on your program.
What do I say? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
September?
September 16, I was elected as president of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas with...
On what ballot?
Yeah, absolutely. That tells you how much work we continue to do in Liberia and in the diaspora.
You served before as a vice president?
Okay. Yes. I served before as a vice president under Joe Mason.
All right, so using the words of Eric, or elected on white ballot. You're here for this election, though. You voted, though?
Yes.
But what's the atmosphere like before and after these elections? Let's sum it up.
I think the enthusiasm is one thing that grabs my attention. Just coming here with Eric. Eric is part of my team of 4 Liberian journalists who come to serve as international observer. We were able to divide ourselves into sections of Liberia, Brown County, Margibi County, and Mosharata County. But the assessment here is I can unequivocally say that this election was peaceful. It was well attended. I think the people went out to express their democratic reasoning, and they went out to speak their mind and through the ballot box, and that I think was actually commending.
Eric said before you came that his impression or his hypothesis before this wasn't going to be a one-round victory for any party. You hold that same opinion that reading the political space and reading the newspaper and what's coming out of Liberia, that we're going to go for a runoff?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the playing field. You had 20 political leaders on the ballot. And then if you were to do the math before even coming to observe the elections, you have seen more that this election definitely will go to second round. With the number of players we had.
All right. So in terms of security, in terms of security, oh, you're not here. Okay, sorry. Yeah. In terms of security, how is it like? What they go? I like what you said, and that everybody holds that opinion is peaceful. But do you believe that we still have some security? The process is still on. That there's not going to be an eruption of violence, and in the wake of no international force.
I think what we need to do as Liberians is to stop this rumor mongering. I think the security apparatus is doing their best, but the Liberian people need to understand that there's a need to stop causing chaos, telling somebody that the people are somewhere in Painesville red light and begin to run, and other people places has been looted, or even just the rumors. It's just not good for the security system of this country. But all over the security, I've not heard any reports of somebody being incarcerated. I've not heard any report of somebody being taken from the ballot box because they misbehave. And
All right, PEWEE.
But more importantly, Isaac, what was more important for people to understand is that the security are doing the best to keep peace in Liberia.
ELBC Radio, thank you, PEWEE BAYSAH. We should have had some time to talk about many other things. We hope we can do that later on. But let me now go from Painesville to Sinca, where thanks, Iri and PEWEE, joined the National Elections Commission, who's already started the press briefing.
I welcome you to the headquarters of the National Elections Commission and to the Commission's daily press briefing. You are aware that we reported yesterday a rerun of the presidential, senatorial, and representative elections at 2 polling places in Precinct Bio-Lontuo in Electoral District 4 in Nimba County, which will be held tomorrow, 20 October 2023. The Commission wishes to inform you again that all is set for the conduct of these elections. According to the magistrate, the Liberian National Police has already deployed officers to the area. Meanwhile, NEC permanent and temporary staff are also being deployed today. Meanwhile, the Commission wishes to inform you that there has been 7 arrests made so far from the disruption of the counting process in Bio-Lontuo Precinct, Electoral District number 4, Nimba County. Those arrested are George Josephus, Menwengwe Sieden, Nelson Goma, Gomiete Gomi, Emmanuel Luo, Hanson Cooper, and Hakaton Mie. According to the police in Nimba, these individuals have been levied multiple charges ranging from obstruction of government's function, criminal mischief, theft of property, and tampering with public records. Others who were involved with the violent acts are said to be on the run. With regards to the payment of temporary staff, as at today, payrolls for Lower Monserrado